Hi Greedy 3Ds, it comes as no surprise I'm sure to you guys to know that I love testing new resins in printers, especially the Ultracraft Reflex RS and the RS Turbo. Well, today we are going to be testing this new resin from a company that, I'm not going to lie, I had never heard of, Cretbee, and they reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to test their normal resin and their water washable resin. Well, of course, I jumped at the chance, and you know what? I think I found one of my favourite resins so far. Stay tuned. Now, I said that I'd never heard of Cretbee, and when I searched them on the Tinterweb, I found out they do 3D printers as well. Oh, very, very interesting. But it's the resins we're interested in today. We're going to be testing two. We're going to be testing their standard and their water washables. We have a quick look at the standard. You can see that it's retailing for just under $56 for a kilogram of their standard. And if we go to their water washable, that one is currently retailing at, again, $69.99. So these are not the cheapest resins on the market, but it'd be interesting to see how they get on in the RS. And a little bit of a spoiler alert, they're really, really nice. So here they are in hand. I've unboxed them so you can have a look at their little fat bottles, and we are going to be using them on the Ultracraft Reflex RS and the Turbo. The standard photopolymer resin is first. This is a nice grey colour, and I'm just going to pour it straight into the Reflex RS. I've got to be honest, no real noticeable smell at all with this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is a frozen XP test, and I have used PARP 10 settings, and I am blown away with the quality of this. It is absolutely beautiful. It's perfect. So PARP 10 is definitely the way forward. And next, the major work I'm going to be doing is this Rancor from the Star Wars 3D. It's a subsidiary of Wicked, and of course we're going to be doing this with that PARP 10 settings on the Ultracraft Reflex RS Turbo using the pulsing release module. And I am happy to say that a few hours later, everything looks to have printed beautifully. I've got no failures that I can see on the build plate, but I always say it's not till you get it off the build plate you can see what is going on exactly. So the next step is to get them off the build plate. My first test is always how easy do they come off. Well, they come off beautifully, so I'm happy with the supports. I'm happy with everything so far. The build plate adhesion has been good. I'm going to give them a little bit of a clean in a dirty wash, supports and all. So I'm going to pop them into some dirty IPA and give them a dunk up and down. Just first inspection of them. Again, they look like they've printed really well. I've had a quick look, not a detailed look, but everything seems to be okay with them. Everything seems to be where you would expect it to be. There's quality, there's detail. I'm going to put them into a cleaner wash now into my Formlabs Form 4 cleaning station and let them have a whiz about in that cleaner resin for around about 10 minutes. And once I've had that second wash, the next stage was, of course, to get the supports off. Now, I did use a hairdryer to get the supports off initially, but what I found was, and again, I think it's using the pulse release module certainly helps, the supports were so sort of thin. I'm gobsmacked that these supports actually hold these things up, but so the supports literally just fell away. There's some tiny support divots which we'll come back to later, but I'm really pleased with how these supports have come off and the quality of what I'm seeing so far. Next, we're going to move on to the water washable. Don't worry, we'll be coming back to both of these to look at them in depth later. So when you get a new resin, what you would normally do is go into your printer, go into your settings and dial that resin in using things like RERF tests, changing exposure settings, lift distances, bottom layer times, and all those things until you get to something you are happy with. Well, of course, on the RS and the RS Turbo, you can't do that. You are locked in to certain profiles, and it's a case of simply going through each individual profile to find the one that matches your resin the best it can be. Now, there are a couple of resins out there that won't work with the RF, and if you've watched my videos before, you've seen me use resins that don't work, and these are usually ones that need real long exposure times. Thankfully, the majority of resins will get away with 1, 2 to 3 second exposures, and the RS will deal with them with one of its profiles. Now for the initial resin, obviously I used PARP 10. I did one test, it came out beautifully, and that's what I ran with. For the actual water washable, I tried their water washable setting. I wasn't too happy with it. It looked a little bit underexposed. It just didn't look right, so I went with PARP 10, and I'm happier with that. Now, it's not 100% perfect, and if I had the time, I would go through all of their profiles, but I just don't have the time. So I'm going to use PARP 10 with it, and believe me, the end result is lovely. So, PARP 10 setting on the original Ultracraft Reflex RS, and the legs and the base are printed wonderfully. I've just finished off also on the RS Turbo using that standard photopolymer resin from Cretbee. The little wall and that too seems to have printed absolutely perfectly, both using PARP 10 settings. Now if we just have a closer look at the base on the build plate, you can see that everything has printed wonderfully. Everything as the supports have done its job. I'm really happy with this. Let's see how easy it is to get off the build plate and to get those supports off. And I was absolutely gobsmacked when I started to get it off the build plate. The actual base just came off in my hand, which is fantastic. I mean, that is real tantamount to the supports. They've done their job during printing and they're easily removed, absolutely easily. And watch this, when I get the leg, one of the legs that was printed in the water washable, it literally just falls off. Perfect. That is how you want it, so I'm really chuffed. Now I'm cleaning this in water. This is not IPA. I've got another bucket with some dirty water in. It's going to have a dirty water wash, it's going to have a clean water wash, and then that will be it, done and dusted and cleaned, obviously left to drain for a few hours. And both of these models have been cured for around about 20 minutes. And if we just have a closer look at them, I am absolutely blown away with the quality that I am seeing in these resin 3D prints. Now the other thing with these is I haven't cleaned up any of the supports. There are some supports showing on there, but this is one of those models I really do believe that if I start to take supports settings off, I'm going to do more damage than leaving them on, and you can barely see them. You just look through these models, you can barely see them. You can see them in certain areas, but I have left them on, and I'm going to use them as part of the cleaning, part of the painting design, because those little spots that are behind, and there's only a few of them here and there, will look like the Rancor itself anyway. So I'm so chuffed. You didn't see the hole that went through there from the support setting. That you imagine that. I didn't do that. And look at this base. There's huge amounts of detail in this base. It's absolutely perfect and beautiful and printed wonderfully. Again, both using PARP 10 settings. The supports have just fallen off, as you saw. What I'm going to do is glue everything together. And the other thing that's good to see is the tolerances are good. The joins are very barely visible and everything's gone together as it should. Now, being a bit of a perfectionist sometimes when it comes to joins, I do want to seal any of those joins up, but I really didn't need to do an awful lot of work on those joints, because the whole thing has just gone together beautifully. Using a bit of super glue and some activator. I didn't need to file anything. I didn't need to sand anything. It's all looking wonderful, and I hope you agree that this Rancor is looking absolutely great. I'll be painting it in a forthcoming video. If you're interested to see that, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But just for completeness really, I'm going to show you how I filled some of the gaps that you can see, and these are natural gaps that you're going to get when you're doing some kind of resin 3D printing. I'm going to use some of this Fun Cricole syringe driven resin. And this stuff is great for filling those little holes. And the thing I like about it being in a syringe is you can just squirt it into the places you want it. Use your finger, use something like a cotton bud, just smooth it all out. And when it's all smoothed out, you can then cure it in your curing station for a good 10 minutes. Everything will be cured. Happy days. All your gaps are filled. Wonderful. We are done. The Rancor is done, soon to be painted. So thank you to Cretbee for sending me their resins to have a little bit of a play with. It's always interesting to try new resins, especially on the RS. And I've got to be honest, this has blown me away with the quality of this. It's probably one of my favourite resins that I've used on it. The only negative for me, and it could be a negative for you, I don't know, is the cost. The water washable at $70 and the normal at around about $50. When you consider you can buy much cheaper resins out there, it may be a factor for you guys. Money tends to be a factor for a lot of people, but what I can't get involved in the cost of things because that's out of my control, but all I can do is test them to make sure that they work, and my god, these work really well. Now I understand the brigade of you out there that'll go, oh, he's been sent this, he's got to say this. Not at all. There's been no correspondence from Cretbee to me apart from please have our resin. They haven't asked me to say anything, do anything, not say anything, and I would never deal with a company that insisted I said something or did something or told you something that I did not believe in. I've got to be honest. You've seen the results from the Rancor, and if you're interested in seeing that painted, make sure you subscribe to the channel because that'll be coming soon. But you've seen the detail. It's wonderful and it works, and the supports came off beautifully. Well, the whole thing just fell off the supports. I love it, I really do. And when things go to plan like that, when your prints work, you know what it's like, you 3D printerers out there. Everything is bloody marvellous and it's great. If you like what you see today on the channel and you like the content that I'm producing, please subscribe to the channel. Think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon. My Patreons and you guys here, thank you wherever you are. You're wonderful. Thank you for your support. It really is appreciated. I also want to hear what you think about this resin. I'd never heard of it. Have you used it? Have you heard of it? Have you seen anything? Have you had good experience, bad experience? Please let me know what you think, because other viewers will read what you're putting down and it helps them make a decisive comment on whether they're going to buy or not. Now, I've got no affiliate link to this. There's nothing like that. I'm not going to make any money from this. That's not how it works with this resin. I'm not telling you this to make loads of money. That's just not the case. So my review is an honest one. I hope you've appreciated that honest review. Let me know in the comments, and I will see you real soon. Who knows what we're going to be doing next time here at Greedy 3D. Thank you for watching.